The phone screen glowed like a beacon in the darkness, its blue light slicing through the stillness of our apartment. My thumb hovered over her message. Working late at the office conference. Don't wait up tonight. The words from Lena stung, not because they were unusual, but because of the time. 10:47 p.m. And the way they sat there, flat and cold, in our message thread made my stomach tighten. Something didn't feel right. I typed back, my fingers trembling between sarcasm and unease. Hope you and Jake from accounting nail that presentation. I hit send, expecting the usual silence in return. 20 minutes later, the front door rattled. Lena stepped inside, keys shaking in her hand, her face pale like she'd just seen something terrible. The living room looked like a snapshot of our life together. Mismatched throw pillows on the couch, a half-finished glass of wine on the coffee table, and the low hum of the city sneaking in through a cracked window. I stayed frozen, phone still clenched in my hand, the open text thread glowing like evidence. Her coat hung loosely off one shoulder, hair slightly messy, and her hazel eyes, the same ones I'd memorized over 6 years, avoided mine. "You're home early," I said quietly, testing the tension in the air. She flinched, dropping her keys onto the counter. The sound echoed through the silence like a gunshot. "The conference ended early," she mumbled, slipping off her coat and tossing it over a chair. Her phone buzzed from inside her purse. She ignored it, but the sound stabbed through me. I'd seen the signs lately. Her phone, lying face down at dinner. The way she angled the screen away when typing. The late-night work calls that ended with her voice soft and low. Too intimate to be professional. I'd told myself I was overthinking, that comfort had turned me paranoid. But seeing her now, flushed cheeks, flimsy excuses, that fragile denial began to crumble. "Jake from accounting, huh?" I said, leaning back, forcing a smile that felt brittle. Must have been one hell of a presentation. Her eyes darted up wide with something, guilt, fear, maybe anger. She opened her mouth, then shut it again, her fingers twisting the hem of her blouse. "It was just a joke, Lena," I added softly, giving her a way out. My heart pounded, begging her to take it, to laugh, to make me believe I was wrong. "It's not what you think," she whispered finally, her voice faint. She sat on the edge of the couch, too far from me, hands locked together in her lap. He's a co-worker. We were finishing the quarterly report. The words sounded rehearsed, like lines she'd been practicing on her drive home. I wanted to believe her. God, I did. But the air between us felt heavy with unspoken truth. Then her phone buzzed again, steady and relentless, like a heartbeat neither of us could ignore. Then why rush home? I asked, sharper than I meant, "Why are your hands shaking, Lena? Why does it feel like you're hiding something?" My voice cracked at the end, betraying the pain I'd been swallowing for weeks. Her social media had been a breadcrumb trail of half-truths. A tag photo from a team happy hour she never mentioned, a late-night story showing a skyline I didn't recognize, her location sharing turned off when it used to ping me every evening. I justified it all. Work pressure, new projects, my own insecurities. But now, sitting across from her, those justifications collapsed. "I'm not hiding anything," she said, though her voice wavered as she silenced her buzzing phone without looking. That small, nervous gesture was a spark that lit the fire. "Then show me," I said, standing now, pulse roaring in my ears. "Show me the texts, the calls, the work emails. Prove I'm wrong." The words cut against everything I want to believe, but they came out anyway, raw, desperate. Lena's expression hardened, her jaw clenched. "You don't trust me," she said, not a question, an accusation. "After everything, you really think I'd—" She stopped, her breath catching. For a second, I thought she might cry, but she didn't. She grabbed her purse instead. "I need some air," she muttered, moving toward the door. "Don't," I said, stepping in front of her, my tone softening. "Don't run from this, Lena. Just talk to me." I reached for her hand, but she pulled away. Her fingers were cold, trembling. The space between us wasn't just physical anymore. It was a gulf carved out by weeks of late-night silences and half-truths. I thought about the early days, when we used to text until sunrise, sending goofy emojis and promising forever. Now those same phones felt like weapons, glowing screens full of secrets I wasn't sure I wanted to uncover. "I'm not running," she said, her eyes glassy. I can't do this right now." She brushed past me, and the door clicked shut behind her, leaving me alone with the hum of the city and the crushing weight of uncertainty. I sank onto the couch, phone still in hand, the open thread staring back at me like a wound. I scrolled upward, searching for the moment everything changed. A message from a month ago, caught up at work. "Don't worry." Another, 2 weeks later, networking event. Might be late. At the time, they'd seemed harmless. Now they felt like breadcrumbs leading somewhere I didn't want to follow. I opened Instagram, the app we once used to share dumb memes, now a gallery of curated lies. Her most recent story showed her laughing in a dim bar, Jake's arm barely visible at the edge of the frame. My stomach turned. I locked the screen. I couldn't look anymore. The next hour blurred, pacing coffee, the pounding urge to check her phone, still sitting on the counter where she dropped it. I didn't touch it. Not yet. Instead, I replayed everything from the last few months. Her distant smiles, the way she'd stop mid-sentence when her phone lit up, the sudden work trips that left me eating dinner alone. I told myself it was ambition, her drive to climb higher. But ambition didn't explain whispered midnight calls or a new passcode I wasn't allowed to know. When she finally came back, her eyes were red, mascara smudged. She didn't speak, just sat across from me, her purse buzzing again like a trapped insect. "Tell me the truth," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside. No more excuses, no more work talk, just the truth. She looked at me then, really looked, and the weight of that gaze was unbearable. "It's not an affair," she said, voice breaking. "Not physical. But I've been talking to Jake. More than I should have." Each word sliced through the fragile trust we built. It started as nothing, work stress, venting, but it turned into something else. Emotional, maybe. I don't know. The room spun. Emotional infidelity. Somehow, it hurt worse than if she cheated outright. "Why?" I asked quietly. "Why him? Why not me?" "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said, tears spilling freely now. "You were here, but I still felt alone. Work was crushing me. And Jake," he listened. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Her words still stung too sharply. "I love you," she whispered desperately. "I swear I do. I just got lost." I wanted to yell, to smash her phone, to demand every detail of their late-night talks. But I couldn't. I just sat there, hollow, the man I thought I was dissolving under the weight of her confession. "What now?" I asked, my voice empty. "I don't know," she whispered. And somehow, the honesty in that broke me more than all the rest. We sat in silence, the city's filling the void between us.